A lot of us don't recognize how far we've come because what are we swinging for? What are we trying to get?
Home runs.
The home run. The only time I'm really going to celebrate or recognize what I've done and how far I've come is not until this happened. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
for all things multifamily.
We are excited. Isiah, thank you for joining me on this episode. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. And this is episode 2 of our Manifesto episode. So the first episode we covered out of 21 separate manifestos, we covered 6, I think, right, Isiah? Was it 6?
Yep.
Yeah, we covered 6. In this episode, we might cover another 5 or 6.
Shall we get rolling?
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
So this is Festo number 7.
Number 7!
90% of landlords' problems will come from less than 5%.
So what you said there is not any kind of secret or mystery. And we all kind of, at least intuitively know that the majority of our challenges, issues, frustrations are going to come from less than 5% of people, environment, things, challenges, etc. That's just the way it is. Especially in the multifamily world, if you have frustrations and challenges with the market, with your property, with maintenance, with asset management, with residents, etc., all of those that I just mentioned, you're going to have, out of all of it, only 3 to 5% of everything I just mentioned and more will be over 90% of your frustrations and your issues and things that you might worry about. So what I've just said is probably not a secret. Is that a secret to you?
No.
No. But here's like the secret to this. What do most people then get fixated on, Isiah? Do they get fixated on the 95+% of things that are going well? Or do they get fixated on the 5% of the shit that's not going well?
The things that are not going well.
That's right. And so you were part of a meeting we had this morning. I mentioned to our managers, we've got a couple of properties that have some occupancy issues. And so what are our managers focusing 95+% of their time on now?
That 5% of problems.
Those problems. That's right. When we've got 95% of our properties are running good, doing good. And that's not to say you ignore the 5%, but you can't spend 95% of their time, as I told them, on just the 5%. And that's, I think, where a lot of us make our mistake. We become so involved and we start to obsess about, this problem. And pretty soon that 3 to 5% all of a sudden becomes 90%. And also realize that you've got to take a step back, take a breath, take a break, however you want to put it, and at least take the time to realize, 90+% of what we've got going on is pretty damn good. It's working pretty good. We don't ignore this 5% that's not going good, or more than likely less, but we're not going to spend 90+% of our time on that 5%. So just something for everybody to remember, because it's a lot easier said than done, but it's something that we want to definitely keep in mind, not only in multifamily, but in a hell of a lot of other things.
I was going to say,
too.
you could apply that to a lot of
stuff.
Life.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, what's your next one?
Multifamily self-discipline makes you magnetic.
What way do we all have available to us to attract the most opportunity into our lives? It's being disciplined. Now, in no way am I saying that you've got to be perfectly disciplined in every single area of that's impossible. But guys, if you want to attract the most opportunities in multifamily, whether it's properties, whether it's selling for a lot more than what you thought you would, maybe it's getting that property next door that you've had your eyes on for so long, everything, it's going to come from how disciplined you are at a foundational level, okay? And a lot of people don't think about that. So you want more opportunity to come to you, multifamily, any other place, you've got to be as self-disciplined in all of those areas. Not perfect, but in as many of those areas as you possibly can be. Hey guys, a lot of people contact me and want to know, where are the best resources when it comes to investing in multifamily? Where can I go? And the obvious answer is DarrenGarman.com. 99.9% of all of the items on the website are absolutely free. Start making that multifamily investment that you've been thinking about a great reality. Okay, so we covered self-discipline. What was the next one?
Multifamily wealth is an equity, not an income.
All right, so here's a big mistake a lot of people make with this in terms of income versus equity. All right, Isiah, let me ask you a question. So let's say we're walking down the street and we stop 10 people and we'd ask them, hey, what's one of the main financial reasons you'd want to own multifamily? What do you think at least 9 out of 10 would say? What would they say to that?
Cash flow.
Cash flow, right? Income. I want to make income, right? And by the way, income's very important. But where you make your wealth is through equity. Let's use just a couple of billionaires because they're easy examples to point to really hammer home this point. All right, so Bill Gates is a billionaire. Bill Gates owns stock in a company called Microsoft. He owns billions of dollars in stock. That stock is equity in the company, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anywhere that you've seen where anyone talks about the income that Gates makes? No, you hear about his stock. Good example. Here's another one. Elon Musk, the world's richest man as we're recording this. Have you seen or heard anywhere where Elon's talking about his monthly income?
No.
No. He has stock in Tesla, SpaceX, and we could go on and on in terms of wealth. Nothing wrong with income. Income is great, pays the bills. Maybe you want to replace your income at your job and own multifamily to do that. That's great. But remember, the wealth is in the equity, not in the income.
That was Festo 9. We're going into Festo 10.
Festo 10.
Celebrate your multifamily wins.
A lot of us don't recognize how far we've come because what are we swinging for? What are we trying to get?
Home runs.
The home run. The only time I'm really going to celebrate or recognize what I've done and how far I've come is not until this happens. So in the meantime, I'm going to grind and work and grind and sweat. Which, by the way, you got to have a good work ethic. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying is you need to take the time, especially in the multifamily world, with so many different things going on at one time, from building codes to landlord-tenant law to you name it. We could come up with a long list. Doing things right, having them go the right way needs to be celebrated. So what do we do at least every quarter, Isiah? What does our company do? We come together and what do?
We do our quarterly meetings.
Yeah, and so what's the first thing I talk about in general at these quarterly meetings?
Our wins and our losses.
Right. How far we've come, what we've done well, and how well it's gone. You've got to do that because if it's a constant sweat, grind it out, what's going to happen is the word burnout. So you've got to make sure you recognize those small things that you've been able to accomplish, knowing there's more to do. You got more progress to make, sure, but you've got to make sure you celebrate those. And again, we don't mean pop the cork. It doesn't have to be like that. It's recognizing how far you've come, what you've been able to do, and where you are at.
And that was Festo 10. This would be the last Festo. This is number 11.
All right, let's do it.
Lose the attachment.
It's easy to go through the process of doing something because you feel like you're attached to doing it. What do I mean? What am I talking about? A lot of times there will be investors out there looking to buy because they feel like they need to buy something, or I call it buy just to buy. The first thing I tell them is, look, I don't have 4 deals a month to put in front of you to hope that you will get involved in investing in them, because we don't buy just to buy. And a lot of investors feel attached and identify with, I need to be buying, I need to be investing, I need to be doing it. An opposite way of saying it is you always want to be acting like you don't give a shit whether you buy it or not. When you and I have been working on some of our smaller multifamily properties that we've sold recently, do I act like I care if we sell them? No. Matter of fact, I pretty much say, I don't care.
I don't know. The 8 unit, I think, might have hit home a little bit.
That's right. I don't care. I don't care if we sell it or not. Right. So right now we're looking at a $7+ million acquisition. And my attitude with the owners, once I have a conversation with them, is going to be, I don't care if we buy it. So you got to lose that attachment, whether it's selling, whether it's buying. Once you have the attitude of, I really don't care, what you'll find is the majority, not all, but the majority of the time, whoever you're dealing with or working with is going to say something to the effect of, what can we do to get this deal to work? How much more flexibility do you want from me in order to get this thing to work? That's the position you always want to be in. And the best way to be in that position is to lose the attachment.
And that was the episode 2 of the Darren Garman's Multifamily Manifesto.
We have 21 multifamily manifestos. And how many manifestos have we gone over, Isiah?
We have 10 left.
10. All right. So we've covered a little bit over half. We hope that you've gotten some value out of our manifestos. Again, these are things that are posted in our office that our team sees when they're here. You see it here when you're here every day. People coming in, doing business with us, they see these manifestos. And we wanted to bring some value to you by sharing these manifestos with you. And hopefully you've got some value out of what Isiah and I have covered with you on Manifesto episode 2 of the Heartland Multifamily Show. The place
for all things multifamily.
For all things multifamily. Isiah, thank you very much. All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you. Bye-bye. If you want to get your hands on more great multifamily real estate content, make sure you click here. If you want to invest passively in great multifamily real estate, make sure you click here.